Oh man. I mean, my man. So I saw this movie a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I just watched 75% of it again. And I remember when I was a kid and I saw The Exorcist. Yeah. And I was amazed at how real everything was. And that's what you did. I'm watching the movie, I believe everybody. I believe what's going on. And then you do this, the most difficult thing I think a storyteller can do is you then say, okay, now I'm gonna take you here. You know, I set the stage. Everybody, here's the world, here's everybody, everybody's a human being. That's, you know, and now come with me. And I think that's the most difficult thing to do. And you pulled it off. And I love the movie. So congratulations, number one, on the most difficult thing I can do. I guess my first question is, were you terrified at knowing that that's what you were setting out to do?
Yes, and I'm never going to do it again. You know, I just did it because I wanted to do something that I was afraid of, and I wanted to check a box. And Exorcist is my favorite. Yeah. And The Omen, you know, and Rosemary's Baby. And I think that, like, you know, I wanted to pay homage to those. To that type of cinema, because we don't get it. You know, they want jump scare, as opposed to really the character scare.
That's so true. Yeah, there's no cheap horror moment. It is all earned.
And I don't know. I mean, I call it a faith-based thriller because there's so much going on, and it's not true horror until it is horror. But you know, all of a sudden the rug is yanked from under you and you're in horror. But is it?
Is it horror?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is, my man. But I know what you're saying. It's grounded and it makes you reflect and it stays with you. And the movie stayed with me since I've seen it. And I think that's, well, first of all, I love that you're making this. It's so interesting that you're making this now as a filmmaker, because it feels to me that you have so many tools at your disposal, seemingly effortlessly to me. You know, just your camera movements, the compositions, your score is incredible. And then just how you deal with actors is very, I mean, every single person, the guy in the bar who's like, is everything okay? Just calm down. Everybody, all of every small role is so lived in, and that's because of you. So I just love that you chose to tackle this when you had the ability, I would say, as a filmmaker, to pull it off, because you're doing so many things. How many days? What was the shoot day of this film?
I think it was a lot. It was a lot. It wasn't precious, that's for sure. I think it was. Anybody know? I think it was I literally blacked out.
Over 60?
No.
Okay.
No, not over 60. I blacked out.
Okay.
It got into a dark space. I was in such a dark space during the film, and I did it.
So how did you do that with the children?
Yeah, that was hard because you had the hours. And,
oh yeah.
The hours, and also the little girl. You know, there are moments that I had to rewrite because I just couldn't tell her to do the things that the script required. So I had her whispering nothing, so that I'd be able to edit something and leave it to the imagination to the audience. Yeah.
Tell me about that. I mean, you because it seems that you must have this ability to. Well, it's such a well thought out. It's clearly a thought out, you know, shot by shot thing. But you're also, for how I know you as an artist too, is like you're very much like, let's see what's there, and I want to take in the moment and create something real in the moment. So, bridging that gap with your actors within this structure, how did you find yourself as a filmmaker in that mode?
I think that drama is for me. Drama is thriller experience was more like and then trying to find the truth in that moment. It's just a different.
I actually understand what you're saying.
Trying to find
That makes a lot of
the
sense.
truth in that. Probably it's gibberish geometry to you guys, but
No, yeah, it's all rhythm. That's for sure. Yeah.
And that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to do it. I think I wanted to do something different. And this script had come to me right after I'd done Precious, and I didn't want to do it because I just felt like I had addressed the abuse issue with Precious, and I also felt that like I believe in spirits, both good and bad, and I thought that the way I work, that the spirits were coming for me, and I was like, I'm not. But then I realized, like, many years later, that we're in some dark times. We're in some really, really dark times, and for me, it's about Ebony's journey in finding her higher power. For me, it's Jesus. For others, it could be Allah, Buddha, or yourself even, but I think that we are in the darkest of times, and I wanted to scare you to your higher power.
And that's one of the things I loved about it, is because clearly you're exploring all of those themes, but you're doing it so studiously within the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so dope about it. Your lead actor. I mean, tell me about that progression from Billie Holiday to this.
Well, I had to find somebody that was, to take it on, I had to find a believer, someone that believed even more than I did. And she is a very spiritual woman. And she, there's a scene at the end where she is speaking in tongue when the devil's there. And I wrote something, and she was supposed to say that something, but she started speaking in tongue. Like, it wasn't scripted. And, wow. And my AD was like, "Sir, should we cut it?" Oh. This is that one talking. Let the cameras roll. And so I literally let it roll until she was exhausted in tears and like a pulp. And then I said, "Cut." Because I knew the Spirit was there with us.
But just to look at that, because it seems like you're saying just let the cameras roll, but clearly you had a camera up here, because she's up here in tongue, she's down there. It's like, it's all lit, and there's smoke. It's like, it sounds like there's way more that went into that. Or was that you're saying that those shots were all set up and then she started speaking in tongue?
She was supposed to say some things. She was
in that exact setup with all those cameras.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see.
And that was one take.
Oh, so you had them both going on. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was, and I didn't want to take it again. I was like, "We got it. Next, get out of here."
So that was all those setups was one take.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. We got it. But I didn't know that we would get it. I was prepared to do the dialogue that was written. And I think that she's a brilliant singer. And I think that
oh, she's just it's
it's
unbelievable. And without her, it's you two together. That's the film, and then everything else. But yeah, she's just what you two make together, and what kind of safety she must feel with you. I mean, that's what's so clear for her to be willing to do this.
Yeah.
The trust that she must have in you is just incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
How did that happen? Is that just chemistry? Is that?
It was my understanding. We tried it with Billie Holiday, and she didn't understand because she had never done drugs before, and I had, as you know, I'm a recovering addict, and so I just took her on my journey, my life journey as a drug addict, and what it was like to get high, and what it was like to have a brain that was that of an alcoholic, and when I saw her trusting me with Billie and not judging me, like no judgment, like, "Okay, this is what it is, I got you. I said, "Oh wow, okay, she gets it." And the same applied to this right here because she was an alcoholic from this too, so yeah. she doesn't smoke, you know. And so I had her smoking in Billy and in this, and now she's addicted to cigarettes, and I'm like,
No, you're
what?
joking.
I turned her around, I
Get her
turned
off.
the Christian girl out. We gotta get her off the cigs.
Glenn Close. Wow. Okay. So first, tell me what made you think of Glenn Close, if that's how it happened,
Okay.
and then that journey.
Okay, so it's based on a true story, or my interpretation of this story, and so I wanted to step away from it because I only spoke to LaToya a couple of times in the process, and I really wanted to figure out how to change it up a little bit so that I could make it my own. And I have so many biracial friends, and I wanted to explore what it was like, because black people know this woman. This woman is a part of the fabric of the black community that we never get a chance to see. And she is, a lot of white people don't know her because she exists only in this black world. And so she's a woman that only dates black men, a white woman that only dates black men, has a black child, and has black-er grandkids. And so what is that like to exist? What is that like for Ebony to be a black woman, to have this white mom? And what is that friction? What is that all about? And that was all to trick you, to sort of to have you not look into the closet where the boogeyman was, to throw you off into what's happening here, So Glenn was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I had her put on weight, and then I had the costumer take the clothes in, and she says, what is this? And she look, she said it was after speaking to Monique and after speaking to Ingenue and to Andra, she walked away with a different understanding about what black women feel about body positivity. And that blew her mind, because she had this one idea of what body positivity was, and so now she understands through the black lens,
And when you saw her understand that, you watched her, that's when you felt like she found the character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was in her strut.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as you're saying that, I'm imagining her, walking with the Daisy Dukes in the back.
I call it the host strut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you're in it. Let's just get her walking, because she tapped into it, dropped into it.
And Monique, oh my gosh. That scene when they're both in the chairs, she's talking about her job. Can you just talk me through that day, if you?
Well, I think that black women are not believed. I mean, even with Kamala Harris right now, black women are not believed. Women aren't believed. Black women especially aren't believed. And so when black women don't believe black women, what is that? What is that about, really? And that was a painful scene for me, because I've known so many women in that situation that have had their children taken away from them for bullshit reasons. So we just tapped in, man, and we did it, and that was actually I think it was Monique's first day, maybe, and we hadn't spoken in a while.
Wow.
And we hadn't spoken in a while, so but it was like we hadn't spoken in 15 years, and it was like riding a bike again. I love her so much. I mean, I think that she is a profound, brilliant actor.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And then they're crazy. I mean, like, look at, I said, Glenn, y'all don't like each other. Monique, y'all don't like each other, and that is formidable. I mean, the two of them together, just like I wish I had written a scene just for the two of them together. I think the
Glenn and Monique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah.
She left the house so fast.
Yeah.
Don't let that bat scare you. You got it?
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to see it, man. She was out there in a second. That was funny, yeah, I thought that. Can I just circle back to the kids again? Just like the young boy. I mean, yeah, incredible. I mean, all three children. Man. Just, wow. Wow.
So the youngest kid, AJ, I also, I produce television, and I produce a television show called Wonder. I used to, but they canceled it, but it's a black version of Wonder Years, and he was a guest star on it, and I thought he was phenomenal. And he has an old soul. He's this old soul, and I can talk to him like a 65-year-old man, and he got it. And the dad was good, and everybody again, he's very spiritual. He's very, 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 very spiritual, and he got it. And Demi, who also played, was in the Will Smith movie about the tennis girls. Serena Williams. She played Serena Williams, a really talented girl. Yeah, she got it, and it's just like you know when you find the right actor, when you know when they're willing to jump off the cliff with you. If they're not, you don't have it.
Yeah, but they jumped off a cliff, a very, very high cliff in this movie. So that's why I'm so curious how, just even watching his little hands around her neck and the floor, I just thought, how did you even, how did you create all of this? I mean, the level of trust in everybody to be willing to just do that. I just, especially seeing it a second time, just kept thinking, how did you create this world where these people were so willing to inhabit and jump off of that very high cliff without ever winking to the audience, believing it 100%. There's a real sense of what's the word, like innocence to everybody in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I think the trust comes from knowing that that I have them, that I've been there, that I've been to the dark side, and I don't have a problem talking about my dark side. And I'm not that, That's just a part of me. We all have demons in us. The hard part really was praying, wanted to make sure that everybody in the before we shot anything, we prayed. And in this day and age, you're not allowed to pray. I was told by Netflix, we can't cut a call. I got a call from me. And so I said, well, I don't know. Okay. So, so I had to, and we had a guy that did deliverances there praying with us every day. Because I read the books about the making of Exorcist and, all the spooky things that happen, So I didn't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were praying hard. And, but, those that didn't want to pray, and there were few that didn't want to pray, stepped to the curb.
This would be like in the beginning of crew call kind of thing every day?
Every day, and then intimately before we jumped into scenes. Every scene. Again, it was about me finding my higher power. I needed to find. I was in the dark. I called you. You know where I was at.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really. Now I do. Should have had a longer conversation. You good? You good? That house.
Yep.
The production design, the screen painting, I just recently read, so that's the screen, right? This sort of version of the screen, right? Which, tell me if I'm wrong, but the artist did that because, I just happened to read this, but maybe I'm misremembering that Nietzsche was talking about God is dead, and that was the reaction to that idea that God is dead.
Correct.
And I was like, oh, I just realized, that's why it's there, because God is dead.
Yeah.
And they need to realize that he's not. Correct?
You got that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. But just all the specificity of everything. What was your pre-production like? Is this a production designer that you worked with before?
I worked on my first film. They always tell you you don't have enough money, you don't have enough days, and so you just make it work. You make it work. And I'm used to work. This is the biggest budgeted project I've ever worked on. And I'm used to working with nothing, precious we handle, two nickels to rub together. So this was a playground for me, and so it was I change my mind all the time. Do you change your mind?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and then you feel guilty about changing your mind.
Kind of.
Yeah, right. That's that white boy, okay? I'm like, I'm one of the Coopers. I know.
That was big of me to just say that. I'm growing.
I love you.
Yeah, that was I took a leap just then.
Yeah, I mean, I changed my mind a lot. What was the devil? I didn't understand. The hardest part was trying to figure out who the devil was. Literally, we had devils down in the basement. We reshot it, and no, that's not the devil. And then I realized the devil wasn't her. The devil was all of us. So I changed that devil.
Oh,
for her.
interesting.
We had
While you're shooting.
Oh, I mean, Netflix lost their mind.
I don't know what the movie's about if it's not in. I mean, that's the sort of whole thing you're
Yeah,
exploring.
but it took me forever to find out who the devil was.
Right.
I kept thinking, what does he look
Well,
like?
he's shifty, man.
Right, exactly. Who is the devil? I was like, I had this new, beautiful white guy that was like, you know, the devil and saying, come to me. I was like,
Oh, really?
oh, wow. And then I realized that the devil is in me. I am my worst enemy. And and once I realized that, the light bulb went off, and then it became, you know, trying to get more money to get Andrew to play.
But that's the whole
devil.
movie. Yeah, I mean that's the entire film,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that it's about finding your higher power, and I'm not here to jump scare you into anything. I just think that really I think we're in dark times, and I try to whenever I'm doing something, you know, when I did Empire, my television show, it was really about homophobia. You know, it was about homophobia in the Black community. That I was tired of being bullied. I was tired of feeling weird about being gay and everything. And I realized that changed everything. You know, it changed the whole. All of a sudden, you know, it's not that. And in doing that, as I was worried about Cookie's hat or the music that they were singing, I didn't realize that I was creating Black Panther and Insecure and all that we had paved a way for the Black Renaissance that was happening. You know, I mean, that's what I think my gift is. I'm a little psychic about what's happening right now, and I just think that we need to buckle up and prayer up.
And the idea that it doesn't have to be bigger than just us, and you can start by working on yourself.
Yes.
That's what I love in the end, you know, when you decided to, which I'm so glad you did, have her battling with her. You know, she's like, you need me. You know, we've gotten this far. You know, which I think I can relate to that. It's like, no, you can let go of that. You can grow. We can grow. That's the reality.
Yes.
If you work at it, you can grow and change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a beautiful thing. And that's really, to me, what a lot of this movie's about, exploring through this genre, which is, you know, as I began this whole thing, which is a very tall order.
And of which I will never do again.
Yeah.
If it's a hit, I'll produce it.
But you don't need to, you did it.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Well, thank you very much.